Welcome to another episode of Tamu Chronicles, where I am bringing you wisdom with sarcasm and a lot of attitude. Okay, daily, the long way. So, listen, let's talk about how these people out here are running around talking about how they don't need friends. And I've literally seen people say that after a certain age, you don't need friends. And I need for people to quit saying that. If you're watching this and you have said that, you need to stop saying it. That's not a flex. You saying that you don't have friends is not healthy. Why don't you have any friends? I will say this. You start off in life as a child with a bunch of friends. For a lot of people, it's a lot of people have the same pattern. So you start off with a lot of friends. Everybody's your friend, okay? Everybody's your best friend. If you have a birthday party, you want to invite everybody you know, or you want to invite everybody that you've said hi to at school, okay? For some people. Uh, and then when you become an adult, you'll find that a lot of the people that you talk to in high school you don't talk to anymore. Maybe a few people will linger around. And then sometimes what will happen, you get older, you have some more birthdays, and then you'll find that a lot of those people, some of those people have even fallen off even more. You start to realize that you don't like the same things. You really don't have a bunch of things in common anymore. Perhaps those people continue to go to the same places and you're like, well, I don't want to do that anymore. So naturally, you go your separate ways, okay? No harm done, no love lost. All right. It is what it is. Now, as you add even more birthdays, the friends that are still there, some of them may drop off because you may actually have an argument. You may actually fall out with that person. It happens. People grow, people change, people say things that they can't take back. Again, it is what it is. You may never speak to that person again. Somebody that you were once friends with, you're not friends with anymore. And it may not be that you've actually had some type of bad argument. There may have been a misunderstanding that perhaps may never got talked about. It just kind of lingered up in the air until one day you were just not talking to this person anymore. That can happen too. What I have found in my 49 years is that your friend circle will get smaller, but the friendships that remain, they get deeper. Your conversations are more in depth because you and your friend, the other person or two other people, are more vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a bad thing anymore. You're more open about your experiences, about what you think, about what you want to do. So those relationships become tighter because now you don't have, your energy is not segmented to all of these other people. You can give energy to those friendships that are there, that still remain. You can give your energy to those friendships where you're giving and you're receiving, and the other person is giving and receiving. There's harmony in those friendships, there's balance in those friendships. Even when you are in disagreement about whatever, about any topic, there is still depth there. there is still respect there. There is still harmony there, because you realize, okay, this is a different person. Even though this person is my friend, this is a totally different human being having a totally different experience than me. And you can respect those experiences. Those different experiences and those conversations, especially the ones where you disagree, those are the ones that help you grow. Those are the ones that help you expand. Where you're not thinking the same things about the same things. Where you're changing your perspective. You're allowing your perspectives to change. So when I hear a person say, oh, I don't have friends, you need to check that. That's not healthy. Not having friends is not healthy. And having your siblings as friends does not count. Having your cousins as your friend does not count. Because at the end of the day, if it's someone in your family, that person you're going to have a natural bias because you feel like you really know that person. You're also not going to grow because 9 times out of 10, some people in your family, your cousin, you're going to think similarly about certain things. You're going to have similar perspectives. Perhaps that person is not going to necessarily check you on your bullshit or be completely honest with you. There is something about having friendships outside of that family construct. There's something about having friendships. So perhaps if you've had friends, you don't have them anymore, maybe you need to look at yourself. Maybe you need to check yourself. Because for you to say, I don't have friends, that is not healthy. There's something up with that. I heard someone say, well, I don't have friends outside of my family because my family understands me. It is not anyone's obligation to understand you. People need to respect you, but they don't have to understand you. When I hear a person say that, that means they don't want friends. What I hear is, I don't want friends outside of what I'm familiar with because I don't want to be challenged. I don't want to be challenged on the way that I think about certain things. I don't want to be challenged. A good friendship challenges you. And I don't mean a battle. I don't mean a constant picking at you or picking your perspective apart. No, I mean someone who has a different perspective, someone opposite of you, someone who is not going to be agreeable with you or agree with you if they really don't agree with you. So it is not, if you're younger and you're watching this, when you hear someone older saying that they don't have friends, that is not what happens to a healthy human. That is not what happens when you get older. Do not expect that, because that's not normal. That's someone who's carrying some emotional shit. It is normal. It is healthy. And I shouldn't even use the word normal. I'll say healthy. It is emotionally healthy for you to have friends. As you gain birthdays, as the number of your years on this planet get bigger, you can have friends. You can have friends. And if you're watching this and you have made that bold statement, perhaps you wear it on a t-shirt. Stop doing that And ask yourself why. Why don't you have friends? Have you pushed people away? Have you ran people off? Have you not been honest with yourself? Are you not an honest person? Are you defensive? Do you not want to be challenged? Do you just want to stay in your bubble? Now, if you don't want friends, that's another thing. Just say you don't want friends. Just say you don't want to be around people. You don't want to have people around you. Fine, say that. But stop. There is this, I see this narrative being pushed that not having friends is a part of gaining birthdays. No, it is not. No, it's not. Get you some friends, okay? Have friends. Have friendships. Have friendship circles. Have friendship dates. Schedule some time every month where you're going out with your friends, where you're calling your friends, where you're texting your friends. Hey, how do you feel today? Did you drink water? Did you eat? Did you wake up in a good mood today? And I'm talking to myself. These are questions that I should be sending out to my friends. So, yeah. It's a good thing to have friends, especially as you gain birthdays.